oh man, we had some technical difficulties, but we back in it, Tell everybody to leave that show and come to this one. Forgive me. But we should be good now, we should be good. We should be all the way good. No echoes, everything should be smooth. So if you're jumping in, sorry for the other screen. Please hit the like and share. For the squad, it will not charge a card. Let's get it. I'm gonna give the people time to build up in here, man, because I just had some technical difficulties. But we're not gonna let nothing stop us, man. You can't stop a trap, man, especially not on a Friday. The trap be unstoppable on a Friday. You understand? Shout out to Joe Tranchina in the building, man. Please hit that like and share for your boy. I'm having technical difficulties this morning. I had a long night last night, you know. I was doing shows. Soon as I clocked out, I went straight down here and did 2 shows back to back for y'all, man. So, I'm back up this morning early, ready to get it, man. Let's get it. So y'all, man, all I ask is y'all hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card. Tell a neighbor, cousin, auntie, nephews, landlord need them views. So use that like and share for the squad. Shout out to Short Dog in the building, man. Tell everybody that other screen is messed up and we back. I shouldn't have no echoes. Give me a 1 if everything sounds good, everything sounds smooth. Shout out to JD is in the building, man. What's happening? Short Dog, Joe Tranchina. Y'all make sure y'all tap in for the win. What's happening? C. Burleson in the building. What's happening, man? Y'all hit that share button for your boy. All my mods, all my people that come in all the time, we need to get this out, man. So please hit the like and share. Let's get it. Yes, sir. We back in here, man. We back in here. They tried to stop a trap, but we already know we can't do that on a Friday. Never let the haters win, man. Never let the haters win. Let's get it. Shout out to Joshua Fisher, Iceberg Slim in the building, man. We in here. You know, we gonna let the crowd build back up, man. But first and foremost, we gotta make sure the haters doing the most what they was put on God's green earth to do. And you already knew that's hate, man. Let's get this trap jump around the corner. Shout out to all my people. And, you know, hit the like button. Let's get it. Let's go.
I can't see a thing, all this money in my face. Hey. I just blew a bag, ran it back the same day. Hey. Ain't no looking back, came a long way. Hey. I know that they mad, but just let them hate. Hey. That what make them hate, that what make them hate. Hey. And we just getting K and they just in the way. Hey. That what make them hate, that what make them hate. Hey. Cause we just getting K and they just in the way. Hey. Landlord is showing how to ball, boy.
Let's get it.
You ain't even on the team, you just a ball, boy. Real high, used to rock knockout, but it's real now. Real fly. Bitch, I probably average your career high. No one day hating on it, probably wanna kill them. When they got our own band, we hollin'
the trap
damn woman. Long little CEO, CIP the dollar. Took my brother, that shit made me go harder. That shit turned me to a monster. Now I'm focused on the come up. Now I'ma run up them commas. For the summer, run up them numbers. I know that they hate the way the ball man. Walking all this ball man. Street made on the chain. I can't see a thing, all this money in my face. I just blew a bag, ran it back the same day. Ain't no looking back, we came a long way. I know that they mad, but just let them hate. That what make them hate, that what make them hate. And we just getting K and they just in the way. That what make them hate, that what make them hate. Cause we just getting K and they just in the way.
Now you might think you at school or maybe even at home or watching me through your phone, but I promise you, you in the trap, sir.
Trap.
I promise.
Trap.
Make no mistake about it, man. Hey, man, thank God it's Friday. You know, they can't take nothing away from you on a Friday, you understand? You already know what our motto is in the Trend app.
They can get today, collecting, man. F you, man. Go get some money. Go get some money. Ain't nobody getting no credit on a damn Friday.
Hey,
trap.
You know we not giving no credits on no Friday. Y'all already know what time it is, man. But shout out to all our people rocking. And the Dallas Cowboys have done a whole lot of combine interviews. I was very concerned the other day. Shout out to the original people, the money, the host, Chris, Long Star, Isaac, Bruce, everybody that's sliding in for the win, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. But, man, listen, I was very concerned the other day because I didn't see not one offensive player. And, hey, that was very concerning. But now it looks like they had one day for the defense, one day for the offense because it's all offensive players and it's all, like, it's mostly wide receivers and it's a running backs. So, you know that warmed my little heart right there. You know it did. You know that warmed my little heart. Hard as I've been banging for wide receiver, you know I needed to see that to make sure the Joneses ain't just blind. Like, I'm not the one that's just crazy. You know, that defensive only list had my antennas up. It did. So we didn't see no tight end. No, somebody said no tight end. No, we didn't see a tight end, but we did see mostly wide receivers and a couple of running backs. So that's a step in the right direction because I really feel like that's exactly what this team needs in this particular draft. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they won my heart, bro. They won my heart. I needed that, the original. I needed it. Trap. I needed it, man. I didn't want my arguments and my presentations to be falling on deaf ears. I don't want to feel that way. So now, you know, it seems like somebody listening, maybe not to me, but somebody listening to somebody's wide receiver case. That's all I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it ain't got to be Landlord's wide receiver case, but long as somebody wide receiver case is being heard, that's a W for us in the trap now. Trap. That's a W for us in the trap. Now, all they got to do is pick the right guy. And I already know how the Cowboys operate. They might try to pick a guy in the second round and stuff like that. I know that it's a deep class, but the only reason I'm not a fan of drafting a receiver in the first round is because I know we need a receiver. I feel like receiver is a big need. And a second round receiver, I just don't know if they would reward them over Brandon Cooks. I don't think they'll do that, or over Jalen Tolbert. He would have to blow them boys out the water to get snaps, in my opinion. Trap. And I'm telling you, I feel like we do need an upgrade, so that wouldn't be the determining factor to make us get a upgrade, just a second round wide receiver. But I think a first round wide receiver, it'll make them be like, hold on, we just got a big time guy and we got to use him. Even if that pushes Brandon Cooks to third or the 3 spot, I'm fine with that. If you love Brandon Cooks at 2, please, you will very much so be in love with him at 3. I'm telling you. Trap. And even if it's a pseudo 2 or a pseudo 3, meaning that it's not legitimate yet, maybe the rookie wide receiver come in and just be a friend's 2 or 3. That's still gonna boost up your wide receiving core. I don't wanna scare nobody, man, but I do wanna say this. If CeeDee Lamb have a baby and it take him 5 games, if him and his old lady have a baby and he have to be out for 5 games, let's say that. How confident are you in this wide receiving core, man? I said this on Boss Land. If y'all didn't see Final Word last night with me, Boss Cowboy, DMV, and Big Game James, you're doing yourself a disservice. That was a great show. That was a great debate. We had me and Boss, man. You're really doing yourself a disservice. So after this, I spin the block with HTM or whatever, fit that show in your schedule, man, because that was a great, great show. The people who seen it, I bet you they can vouch for me because we had some great talking points, some great subject matter on that show. And I think y'all doing yourself a disservice. So please go back and watch that because that was an epic show right there. That was an epic show right there. Short Dog said, we don't have a true number 2. They don't want to hear me say that, so I'm going to just let you say it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just say, he's on to something. When Landlord get to talk about Brandon Cooks, they say I'm a hater, Short Dog. Down. I'm kind of, I'm banned from talking. Landlord is banned from talking about 2 different subjects. One subject is Brandon Cooks. The other subject is anybody that played at Alabama.
Trap.
They don't trust me when it come to neither one of those, so I'm going to let y'all do it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to say it was Brandon Cooks. I'm going to just say, hey, Michael Gallup was bad. How high are you on Jalen Tolbert moving up to a bigger role? You know what I'm saying? I hope well for the young man, but I don't know. I'm not finna push my chips in the middle of the table for it. I'm not finna do that. You see what I'm saying? And then I actually got faith in Brandon Cooks and Dak being better next year, but how much better? You see what I'm saying? That's my issue. I'm like, okay, they'll be better, but is they going to be 1,000-yard better? Is they going to be 1,200-yard better? If it's going to be something like that, will it change our life significantly? That's my only concern. And if that's not the case, I want something better. That's just
trap.
If that's not the case, I want something better. And it sounds like the front office, somebody up in there, have my same sentiments, man. But let's get into some of the content, man. I hope y'all appreciate the efforts and stuff like that, man. So make sure you hit the like button and stuff like that. Goes a long way. But was that a bird or a plane? What was it? I'm not sure. Oh. It's nefarious news, of course. That's what it is, man. Shout out to everybody out here rocking. Get into some of these trap topics of the day, man. Let's get into some of these trap topics of the day. Shout out to Mr. Nick Harris, because the majority of these screenshots that I have collected came off of his Twitter. So y'all make sure y'all go holler at him, because he's covering the team in a great way. Okay, LSU wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. has had a formal interview, not informal, formal. Those are the key words of the day, because formal means it was a real interview. Informal means they could have just said, hey, kid, what's your name? Like, it's like that, you know? So they had a formal interview, which means it could have been anywhere from 10 to 20 to 30 questions. Sit down, they asking them everything that they could ask. Interview with the Dallas Cowboys at the NFL Combine. So that's great news for me to hear, because I like the kid. I think he's a big target. This is what I want y'all to think about, man. Just imagine Dak Prescott if he had a big-time target to where a lot of people act like Dak ain't accurate, right? If he's not accurate, what you do for a quarterback who tends to be throwing the ball high or low at times? You might want to get you a receiver with a big-time catch radius. We don't have those receivers. They don't exist in Dallas. They are non-existent. So, in those games when Dak start, becoming deer-eyed Dak, we all see it. Even if you love Dak or dislike Dak, we all see Dak get into his mode sometimes where, he looking a little lost out there at times. So, even if that occurs in one of these big-time playoff games, just imagine if you had a pressure relief like that, like a big-time receiver. Even if Dak off-target a little bit, he still can make the catch. He still can bring it in. He'll be a big-time security blanket. It's a few of these receivers just like that. So, think about this. Dak Prescott, this elevated version of Dak Prescott, we never seen him with a dominant run game or with a big-time receiver with a huge catch radius, and you know what I'm saying, that just towers over DBs. We haven't seen that. Somebody who we could just throw it up to in a fade ball type situation and go get it. Dak never had that guy. He had the back end of Dez Bryant, but he didn't really have the full Dez Bryant. So we'll have to see. I want to see Dak Prescott with those two things. I want to see this elevated Dak Prescott with a dominant tight end. We ain't really seen it yet. It looks like it's going in the right direction with a dope run game and with a big body receiver, somebody big and dominant, physically imposing over DBs. We haven't seen that. Does Does those characteristics describe any one of the receivers that we have on this roster? Big body, tall, physically imposing. Does that sound like any of our receivers?
Trap.
And then, like, honestly, I just feel like Brandon Cooks' body, the way he made, he seemed like he should be in the slot. I know he been playing outside most of his career. Maybe at this advanced age in his career, he might need to slide into the slot. He might do. And if you get a big-time, big-body wide receiver to go on the outside, match counterpart to CeeDee Lamb, man, I'm telling you right now, we cooking. And I think Brian Thomas will be a good guy to bring in. I like him too. He's not my favorite, but, you know, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't kick or fight or punch the air at all if we drafted him too. So I like him as well. But let's continue, man. It's a couple of more guys. They went wide receiver crazy this year. I mean, today. They went wide receiver crazy. They interviewed a lot of them. Javon Baker, out of the University of Central Florida, wide receiver, had a formal meeting with the Dallas Cowboys at the NFL Combine. Baker said the meeting served as a get-to-know-you opportunity for both sides. So they just trying to figure out what he offers and stuff like that, man. So I'm going to have to do a little research on that kid. I ain't really looked at him yet, but I'm going to have to look at him. We probably could do some research together. But this my guy right here. You already know this is one of my guys. Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy has had a formal interview with the Dallas Cowboys at the NFL Combine. And y'all already know this is one of my favorite guys in the draft. But it's so weird. Xavier Worthy really do remind you a lot of Tank Dell. And y'all know I was crazy about Tank last year. The what's weird about Xavier is most of these other receivers is just big guys. Like, they like the prototypical receiver. They like kids of Megatron and stuff out here. Like, they just 6'4", 6'5", tall, fast, big. They got everything. But Xavier Worthy, he's in this class, and he seemed like he should have been in last year's class because he's like a smaller guy. And it's so weird because he's not really small. He's just not as big as the rest of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Mitchell is like 6'4", and he's on his team. Xavier Worthy is like 6 foot, 6'1". So he's not really short. He's just not super tall like the rest of those guys. So that's why he reminds me a lot of Tank Dell. He got that slender frame. He's super quick and super twitchy. He will break anybody's ankles that walk in front of him. And, man, I'm telling you, this kid is so explosive. He going to blow the combine up. Watch what I tell you.
Trap.
And they see that boy run something like a 4.2, because, like, we not moving players up solely because of they run and they 40 time and stuff like that. But I do want you to think about this. What if you was already in love with the player from the film, and then you see his combine numbers? Like, that might just make you just go head over heels. So that'll be the situation I'll be in. I already like him and Adrian Mitchell and Brian Thomas and my other guy, Keon Coleman. I like all those guys. But once you see their numbers, their measurements, they jump, all of that stuff, that's going to really seal the deal for me on a lot of these players. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Xavier Worthy run a 4.2, man, I might want him as wide receiver one.
Trap.
Now, not over Marvin Harrison Jr. and neighbors and stuff, but I'm talking about far as realistic chances for the Cowboys to draft them. Like neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr., we don't have a chance to get those guys, so we might as well don't even waste too much time on them dudes. But out of the people that's in our realistic possibility, those are the type of dudes. If he run a 4.2, he'll be one of my guys. Like, I want him right now. You know what I'm saying? So compared to him and Brandon Cooks, he's really not even that big of a fit, but he'll be too good of a player to just walk over and just pass over like that. Like, I don't think I'd be able to live with myself if Xavier Worthy just sitting there and we just pass over him. Like, I don't know what I'd do. Like, I'd be in shambles. I'd be in absolute shambles, y'all. I would be. I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I can handle that. So we don't want that situation to even, we don't want to even talk that up into the universe, man. But let's continue. I would be very, very ecstatic if we was able to get this young man right here, though. And pretty much they got both of them. They had an interview with Adrian Mitchell as well. Had a formal meeting with him, according to Tom Downey. So, hey, man, we got these receivers on deck. And receiver is definitely a position that's on the radar, as it should be. Like I say, as it should be. And this is the guy for me right now, man. Florida State wide receiver Keon Coleman has had a formal meeting with the Dallas Cowboys at the NFL Combine. He said it'll be a dream come true to play with his cousin, CeeDee Lamb. What?
Trap.
How did this information escape us? My antennas are up. What's going on? When HTM Sports sent me this, man, shout out to my guy HTM. When he sent me this, I said, what, his cousin? How did we not know that they was some kin to each other? That is mind-blowing to me. And I've been saying this whole time that Keon Coleman feel like a Cowboy. For some reason, he just feel like a Cowboy to me. If you get like a collection of characteristics from some of these draft players, is it me that I'm crazy? But it's certain players that just feel like a Cowboy. So I say people like, to me, Kool-Aid kind of feel like a Cowboy. It just feel like he'll be a Dallas Cowboy. He'll wear a star. Keon Coleman feel like a Cowboy to me too. Do y'all got any player y'all can say he just feel like a Cowboy? If y'all like gather their characteristics a little bit, it's just a few players that I'm like, man, he just feel like a Cowboy. He seem like a Cowboy. I don't know. What y'all think about that? It's a couple of players in this draft. I'm like, I can see him with the star on his helmet, man. It just feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think both of them will be successful in here too. Both of them will be successful in here. What y'all, do y'all have any player like that? Somebody said, yeah, Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks, that's the running back? I think that's the running back. Sweat, yeah, from Texas. Aldrich Epstein, yeah. I can see some of them guys too, man. But it's just certain players that just feel like they could be a Cowboy, man. Everybody don't give you that kind of feeling, man. But Keon just seemed like he'll have that star on his head, man. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Ms. Nisa said the Joneses love a feel-good story. Maybe they will get him. Yeah, and I think he'll be there, too. I really think he'll be there. I really do. I really do. Let's see. Shout out to you guys the Ports line in for the win. The members in the building. And I think I seen you go live yesterday, man. I don't know if that was your first one or not, but yeah, it was some good music talk, man. So salute to you over there, what you're doing on your channel, man. I tuned in. I got a notification. I said, dang, let me see what's going on. And you was live, so, you know, shout out to you. But I don't know about some of these players, but I just got a certain feeling about players like Kool-Aid and players like Keon Coleman. They just feel like they should have a star on their helmet. So let's continue. But I did not know that they was cousins. Do y'all look at this as a plus, or do y'all look at this as a minus? Which one do y'all look at this as? Because, you know, they gonna be riding for each other, right? Trap. Why you ain't throw my cousin the ball? Man, my auntie ain't gonna like that, bro. Trap. What y'all think, though? They chemistry would be. Ooh, that's a plus, Eli. That's a plus. That's a plus alone. And then look, out of anybody, CD will be able to share that stage with his cousin. CD will be able to share that stage with his cousin. And that'll, ooh, man, we gotta do it now. We gotta do it.
Trap.
We gotta do it, man. We don't have no choice now. We have no choice now. We gotta do it. The chemistry factor alone would make us go crazy. Cause you know you gonna need him to clear out CD. CD gonna have to clear out him. And they gonna have to work together. That would be crazy, y'all. That would be crazy. The original people says, I'm screaming and banging on the table. We need a real middle linebacker, rather free agency or a top pick and a running back. Of course we do, but we ain't got to do it in the draft. That's all I'm saying. Original people, this is all I'm going to say. I know it's some young, talented middle linebackers, right? It is in this draft. But it ain't all about talent and athleticism, though. You got to be on your dean. You got to be in your books. You got to be in your bag as a linebacker, bro. Like, we could talk about putting a warm body in that position, but that don't mean it's going to fix it. So why not get something that's plug and play? You see what I'm saying? Like, of course we need a middle linebacker. Of course we need a running back. But all we got to do is go get somebody that's proven. You see what I'm saying? It's certain positions I'm not finna play around with. And if I'm a front office, I'm like, listen, you mean to tell me I could go take a dominant linebacker from somebody else? Why would I play around with that at the draft? Let me know that. If I could go take a proven dominant linebacker from somebody else, and I ain't even got to give up no resources, all I got to do is pay him, why would I go take a big swing at one in the draft? And I ain't even seen him suit up in the NFL before. Y'all got to, like, when I say receiver, bro, it means I already thought about the other positions. I'm not even going to begin talking about receiver if we don't handle these things in the free agency. So that might be something that people missing with me. I'm saying receiver, assuming that we already addressed running back and linebacker in free agency. Listen, we could draft a running back whenever. You know what I'm saying? We could draft a running back whenever. But as far as linebacker go, I don't want no rookie linebacker, bro. I'm sorry.
Trap.
And if a rookie middle linebacker can come in and take over your position, that says a lot about your team, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a veteran middle linebacker who already done it. That's all I'm saying. Go get you a veteran middle linebacker with skins on the wall already. A middle linebacker is your green dot guy. J-Ron Curse, your old green dot guy, might not even be a Cowboy next year. Nobody even brought that point up. J-Ron Curse, your other green dot, not even in the building no more. So you really need a green dot. What that make even more sense to go get Bobby Wagner, man.
Trap.
That make even more sense to go get somebody like Bobby Wagner. We won't even have a green dot next year. You see what I'm saying? So you finna trust this young kid to come in here and be your quarterback of your defense? Nah. I'm good on that. And then look, that rookie linebacker really shouldn't be better than Damone Clark. Linebacker is not just about athleticism and, want to and tenacity. You need the knowledge as well. That's one of the most knowledgeable positions in football. That's why I don't trust no rookie coming in doing it. That sounds counterproductive to me. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to play with no rookie linebacker, bro. Now, you could draft one, but I don't want you to draft one and then dust your hands off and say I'm done. Because you wouldn't be. You ain't never seen him fill that role before. Shout out to my guy, Elm Sports, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check him out, too. He started his podcast as well. He says we need a vet. We need a vet for Mike. Hold on. Vet Mike for the skins and the leadership that we... Hold on. We need a vet Mike for the skins and the leadership that we are missing, because Micah still got things to learn. Ooh, that's another wormhole. Hey, don't come in here starting no trouble now. Trap. Micah's not a middle linebacker right now. I think he could be. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if we can say he a middle linebacker. We can move towards that and then hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? We'll need Micah in the books all offseason. We'll need Micah in the books all offseason. And then the only thing about that is taking away from one of your dominant player positions that you had. Right? If you take Micah off a defensive line or basically edge, now you lacking that edge. You might have boosted up your linebacker, but you kind of lacking that edge. Who you going to replace Micah with when you take him off the edge? That's a discussion. That's why Landlord said edge is a sneaker position as well. That's why Landlord said edge is a sneaker position as well. You know? He said not calling him a Mike at all. I'm just saying he lacks some leadership skills. Of course he does. Of course he does. You already know that. You know, Amp trying to be messy today. That's my dog right there, Amp. I already know. Hey, I done said all of this stuff. You know. Mike up there on all these podcasts talking crazy about certain players and saying he want to get rid of players. Like, none of that is good leadership. Like, it's just not. That's some stuff you should say in the locker room. That was my sentiments on it. Like, if you feel like we got players that need to go, you need to be saying that to them in the locker room, or to the coaches in the locker room, or to the ownership in the locker room. You don't need to be saying that to Stephen A. Smith. That was my only problem with it. Because, you know, if it's people that's half-assing, they really do need to get called out. But that just wasn't the time or the place nor the way he should have done it. You know what I'm saying? You keep in-house problems in-house, Micah. Come on now. Trap. That's just like you having relationship problems with your old lady and she go tell her friend some stuff and now everybody talking about it. Like, come on now. That ain't how that's supposed to go. If y'all got some issues in-house, it's supposed to stay in-house. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't go telling everybody your in-house problems. Shit. That's all that is. See, Micah just probably got to learn that, you know what I'm saying? He's still a young leader in this league. It's certain things he just got to learn. In certain ways, he probably got to learn how to move. That's all that is. But, HTM in the building, he says Peyton Wilson, I'm talking about Peyton Willis, has had multiple major injuries. There is a reason he's not considered a first-round player. Availability is the best ability. And, man. No, Micah's fine. We talking about some leadership stuff. He's health-wise, he's perfectly fine. What's happening with your Jose Banks? Shout out to everybody rocking JC Cowboys Network in the building. He says Peyton Wilson is a very athletic, but health is key. LVE 2.0? Question mark. Listen, I used to be that big risk guy and swing for the fences and hope for the best and everything will be okay. After years of trying that, I'm done with it. I'm sorry. Like, how many more hurt linebackers y'all want to get? Listen, linebacker is the prototypical position that you don't want to hurt player at, bro. Trap. Linebacker is the prototypical position that you don't want to hurt player at. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta be it's a car crash all game. Why you think our linebackers don't play that way? Because they hurt. Because they hurt, right? Your linebacker supposed to play with reckless abandonment. Your linebacker supposed to be head hunting. Your linebacker supposed to be blowing up blocks. Didn't you see that with the Ravens? Didn't you see Queen blowing up blocks. Then you see Roquan Smith blowing up blocks in the backfield, challenging guards and tackles when they trying to be blocking them, shedding blocks and, you know, taking the right angles, making tackles for loss. That's how linebackers should play. Our linebackers up there trying to shake the blocker. You know, they don't want that smoke. We need physical linebackers. Damone Clark was doing it. Marquise Bell definitely was doing it. Michael Parsons was doing it too.
Trap, 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 trap.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but if you did, you did. You didn't, you didn't. Hey, we moving on. But, you know, let me know if y'all heard that last one. But listen, man, this is all I'm saying. If you think about it schematically, if you sitting up here dodging blocks, if you trying to get around blocks, do you know how a zone block scheme block? A zone block scheme blocks in one direction, right? If we run it to the left, all the linemen are blocking to the left. So we are clearing this path for my running back. We all going this way. The running back's going this way. The play is going this way. Just imagine if you a defender and you see these players coming. If you see all these players coming towards you and you a linebacker, just imagine if you don't want to challenge nobody. So now you moving out the way. Why would you try to shake out of the way and you just really opening up the run lane? So this is why you can't have linebackers that's scared to challenge nobody. If we running that way and you shaking out the way, what are you doing, sir?
Trap, 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 trap.
And we get mad and wonder why we making tackles in the run game 10 yards down the field every time. That's why right there. Right? That's the reason. Schematically, physicality, that's why people say we ain't physical enough. If everybody running towards you and you run away from them, you just letting the play just go where it want to go. So that's one of the issues, physicality. And look, the physicality is lacking because these linebackers are hurt players. LVE, hurt player. Damone Clark, hurt player. Marquise Bell, physically limited player. You know what I'm saying? Damone Clark had spinal fusion surgery, y'all. Do you think he's not going to be thinking twice when he going in there putting his neck down and hitting people? Do you think he's not going to be thinking about that sometimes? Man, that's why we don't need nobody with injuries at linebacker. This is what the case I'm making. I want a young, healthy monster at linebacker who would be shocked if he get hurt. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody like, wow, I didn't even know I could get hurt. You need one of them. And, hey, if he get hurt for us, that'll be one of his first injuries. You see what I'm saying? We can't afford hurt linebackers. Like Peyton Wilson, I think he's talented. I think he probably could become a good player. But the Cowboys, this team in particular, we don't have that luxury to be risking that. We don't. Because, okay, if it works, wonderful. But if it don't, now we spent the premium draft pick and we still lacking that linebacker. This one of the cases where you got to take the sure thing. You got to take the sure thing. This team in particular, let me say that one more time. This team in particular, the Dallas Cowboys, the reason why we shouldn't do it is because of the history we've had with hurt linebackers. Look at Sean Lee. Sean Lee was hurt every day of his life.
Trap, 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 trap.
Jalen Smith. The man, this could be another Jalen. Do you want another Jalen Smith? Jalen was a little worse. But look, the Cowboys still took that swing. Shit. See, this is the stuff that get me mad and I end up on a 20-minute rant because us doing things like that, I know what it's fueled from. Us taking big swings on injured players, I know what it's fueled from. You know what that is? It's fuel from Stephen Dollar Bill Jones
Dollar Bill
being cheap. That's where it comes from. And I don't know, you probably like, well, how you make that correlation, landlord? Well, let me elaborate. The reason you would try to take a swing on a second round pick, which we've been failing miserably at for the past years, you want to be so cheap. Instead of moving up in the second, you want to try to pay little for a big time player in the second. You see what I'm saying? You trying to finesse, but that finesse don't work all the time. It end up being a finesse on you. That's all it is. You see what I'm saying? Instead of actually playing, think about this. This is the clearest way I can put it. Instead of actually giving up resources to move up in the second or the back of the first to get a top tier player, they rather try to stay calm and get a top tier player that's hurt and hope he can be a top tier player again. And it never works. So that's why I say it's really fueled from Stephen Jones being cheap. That's what it's fueled from. You see what I'm saying? So you always thinking cheap. You know what I'm saying? Instead of paying the real price for that Gucci bag, you want to go get it out the corner. Come on now. And then now you got to get one every 6 months. Like
trap.
By the time you keep replacing that fake when you probably would have had the real when it would have probably lasted just 10 years. See what I'm saying? So you just can't go cheap all the time. You got to get what you pay for. You got to actually pay for what you want. And the Jones has been trying to finesse their whole life. That's all we try to do is finesse. Stephen Jones is a finesser. He trying to get over. That's why nobody don't want to do no deals with him. Don't nobody want to negotiate with Stephen Jones. All he do is finesse. Shit. Look, y'all know it's people in our life we know that we don't want to do no kind of business with them because they always trying to get over.
Trap.
And that person right there has the spirit of Stephen Jones. Now let's move on. Y'all know, hey, everybody mind shifted straight to that person in their life. They like, yeah, I don't want to do no kind of business with them because I already know I'm been had to fight them about my money or they ain't going to be trusted. I ain't going to be able to trust if they telling me the right money and all of this stuff. Like, man, y'all know what time it is, bro. Y'all know what time it is. Pittsburgh's Bub Means. I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't heard of this young man, but before the show over, we going to do some research on him too. But they had an informal meeting. They probably was wondering who he was like me, you know? But we going to do some research on him too. Alabama receiver Jermaine Burton has had informal meeting with the Dallas Cowboys at the NFL draft. And, informal, they probably just say, hey, kid, how you feeling? How tall are you? You know, what you ate for breakfast? Some general questions that don't really mean much. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah, you guys, everybody know that person we talking about. Like, look, they tell you it's one price, and if you go check their pockets, they got an extra $10, $15 off the top of it. You already know. And then they be your relatives. We ain't trying to do no business with them. That's Stephen Jones. Like everybody looks at him like he's doing business underhandedly. So, they don't want to do business with him. What they say, a fair deal, everybody lose. Stephen Jones trying to get over, man. He's trying to get over. But Jermaine Burton is a decent receiver. I wouldn't mind taking him like in the second or the third. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody that can fall with a lot of potential. Y'all already know my boy Jalen Milroe he wasn't that developed in the passing game like that. So Jermaine Burton could be somebody who's a sleeper, y'all. He could actually be a sleeper because he didn't have the biggest year, but he probably could have been more productive if we would have had a more developed passing quarterback. So don't sleep on Jermaine Burton. He could be even better than what his numbers show. Oregon wide receiver Troy Franklin had a formal meeting with the Dallas Cowboys at the NFL draft. And hey, that's good news. I told HTM this warms my heart, all these wide receivers.
Trap.
It just warms my heart, man, because I feel like we're going in the right direction. And then something else is interesting. All of these receivers right here, HTM. Look, all these receivers right here, HTM, they first round picks.
Trap.
You is not getting none of these dudes in the second. You ain't getting these dudes in the second round. Not what we pick, unless they see one sliding and then they move up. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good sign. Them other guys, them defensive guys, some of them guys was at the bottom of the draft. Some of them dudes was second, third rounders. Like this receiver list is mostly first round guys. Even if they at the top of the first, back of the first, or early second, maybe. All of those are out of our range for drafting them in the second round. If you don't draft a receiver in the first, by the time you come up in the second without moving up, you have probably been and missed the sweet spot, man. You have been and missed it. That'll be terrible. So we need to make sure we be effective and know what we trying to do, man. We can't let this whole class just slip away from us. That'll be a big mistake. That'll be a big mistake. He said, did you tell Diddy yes or no? Hey, it don't even matter. Diddy said he gonna get it regardless. You might have to you gonna have to take him out. He's sexually assaulting people and shit.
Trap.
That boy Diddy said, hey, yikes. Cowboy JC Cowboy says, only way I feel good about a receiver in the first two rounds, we have to get busy in the trenches and free agency. Yeah. If not, it'll just be another nice car that only gets you to the playoffs. Trenches matter in the free agency. Of course. Yeah. See, I'm saying receiver, assuming that the Cowboys handle their business at defensive tackle and linebacker in free agency. Yeah. But one thing you got to realize, though, we've seen Dak perform with lower-level offensive linemen, and we got depth at the offensive line. So if you talking about the O-line trenches, hey. Defensive line trenches, I give you that. But you're not going to get your solution in the draft, JC. I promise you that. I said this last year and nobody listened to me. Because the Cowboys still drafted Myles Smith. No knock on the young man because he's still young. You know, it takes defensive tackles 3-4 years. That's why I didn't want one. You know what you do? Do you think the Cowboys got 3-4 years to be waiting on a defensive tackle when everybody on a 1-year deal? Let's think critically, y'all. Come on now.
Trap.
Make that make sense. So, for most people talking future, the Cowboys don't even have no damn future. Like, let's really think about this stuff. I don't know, man. Maybe Landlord crazy, because it be seeming like most people don't even get where I'm coming from, man. I try my best to verbalize what I mean. They just told y'all, the whole coaching staff, they said Dak might not even be there. And they just told you everybody's on a 1-year deal. But we up here talking about players that can help us 3-4 years down the line. I don't know. I don't know if y'all hear me, man. I don't know if y'all hear me. Well, let me know if I'm right or wrong, though. If you don't hear me because you feel like I'm wrong, talk me off the ledge. But I tried my best to unbiasedly evaluate everything about this situation. And if you bring up a great enough point, I'll be like, okay, you got me. If he there, I ain't mad at that. But I hear people talking about tackles. That's a guard. I mean, that's a center. if the best center in the draft and you just head over heels for him right there, I'm not gonna argue with you right there, because that's a perfect balance between need and best player available. So if that happens, I'm not mad. But I still want you to draft a receiver in the second. And preferably, I wouldn't want you to sit up there and wait till your regular pick. Go up and get one before they all gone. I just said this the other day, man. We wait too long sometimes in the draft because we think it's a deep position. Go look at Jalen Tolbert draft. Jalen Tolbert, the only player that was good as a receiver that was drafted after Jalen Tolbert was Romeo Doubs. Everybody else was gone. So, and everybody else had either a worse season than Jalen Tolbert or an equal season to Jalen Tolbert. So that right there alone tells me that we waited too late. We let all the receivers get away. Romeo Doubs was the only receiver that was even worth mentioning that was drafted after Jalen Tolbert in that draft. You don't want to wait to the end of it and to the back end of all the talent get away. We just sit there conservatively and just pick whoever fall to us. That's stupid when you on a winning team, man. You don't just sit there and take what they give you. You go get you something. I said this earlier. The Cowboys so sedated, they don't love no damn body.
Trap.
Man, the Cowboys don't love. You mean to tell me you don't love nobody? But y'all all in, though. You mean to tell me you don't love none of these tackles, none of these guards, none of these receivers? You ain't absolutely in love with none of these players? To the point where you just gonna sit back and don't go get nobody. Do that sound like a championship trait right there? Do that sound like a team that's all in? You just gonna sit here and wait. That's not a way to live your life. Everybody can tell you that. Are you gonna get the most? Are you gonna get the most sitting down waiting or going to get something? Which one you think? He said they already walked back that all-in talk. That was Stephen Jones, man. That's who that was, man. Don't put that evil on us. Jerry said all in. This today, Jerry need to snatch the keys, man. We ain't listening to him no more. Shit, we done with Steven, okay? Let's move on, Steven. We done with you. Okay? We gave you your time, man. We gave you your time. We tried to do it your way, drafting all these players, hoping they can just change your life in 1 year. That's not the way championships are won. It's just not, especially not these days. If you got positions that you've been terrible at over the last 10 years, please go buy one, sir. This is simple. You're not as good at evaluating that position as you might have thought. That's all it means. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go buy one. Go buy one. Damn, he said Jared walked the back too. See, your whole sole purpose in life was to make me sad today, huh? Don't be that way, Hen. Don't be that way. DeQuincy says, why Dak ain't got a contract yet? LOL. Man, listen. I don't know because they probably been listening to you. But I'm going to say this. If Dak don't get a contract, I don't care about none of this stuff. Listen, and it's not because I'm that fond of Dak. I'm just telling you that it won't be no money available to do anything in free agency, which by default, my whole draft strategy is in shambles and out the window. So this would literally be, if that happens, this would literally be the dumbest year in Cowboy history. Trap. This would be the dumbest year in Cowboy history. And if you wait like that, you might as well do it now. Y'all wasting people's time and wasting people's careers. Because nobody would have no kind of consistency. Nobody would have no kind of commitment to be playing their heart out for the Cowboys. Nobody. They don't even know if they'll be there next year. But the Cowboys think, hey, they're going to play for us because they want to be Cowboys. What they fail to realize is the joke will be on us. Because even if they're not starters here at other places, they still going to get another job. Name a player that's on this team like that's up for a contract that wouldn't get a job. Man, that could go get signed somewhere else. Mike McCarthy will go get signed somewhere else. You don't think another team will want them 12 wins a year? You crazy as hell. Trap. Mike McCarthy go get him a deal. Dak Prescott to go get him a deal. Mike Zimmer probably go get him a deal. Like, the joke will be on us. And we'll sit up here and have to rebuild everything and go through nobody knows how long years of misery trying to just get rid of Dak and start all the way over. Man, that'll be crazy. I ain't with it. And Jerry way too old to be dealing with that type of stuff. You think Jerry ready to do that? Man, it'll have to be a quick fix. It can't just be like, hey, we finna do this, do that, boom, we done. Nah. No quick fix ain't gonna get it. And then no rebuild ain't gonna get it. So, the only option that makes sense is to sign Dak, open up a whole lot of money, then sign CeeDee Lamb. Listen to here. If you don't sign Dak, what the hell you gonna sign CD for? Trap. What you gonna sign CD for? So you can go get a quarterback from God knows where and pray to God that he become anywhere near the duo that you had with Dak Prescott. Do that make any sense? Trap. This is exactly what you hope your wide receiving quarterback duo become. One of the best in football, one of the most dangerous in football. So you're going to get a new quarterback and pray he become Dak and CD. That's so dumb. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I stand on that. If they don't sign Dak, bro, this will be the dumbest year in Cowboy history. I'm going to tell you right now. And it'll be worthless. It'll be useless. It would make no sense because we just talked about all these players that we need in free agency and in the draft. And if you don't sign Dak, you won't be able to get nothing. You won't be able to get nothing. So how you going to fix this team? If you don't sign Dak, he's the biggest chess piece. If you don't sign him, you don't open up no money, so now you can't fix nothing. That's crazy. So that's what I'm telling y'all. That'll be the dumbest year in Cowboy history, and it'll be some of the craziest stuff I ever seen, and a very useless year. So all I'm going to say, that'll be crazy, and I don't think nobody will like that because I'm telling you, that contract alone would cripple the cap, and we wouldn't be able to get nothing, and we'll be basically running it back with the same team, and maybe not even the same team. It's probably even worse. So if y'all championing for them to get rid of Dak, you might as well tell them to get rid of him now. Because you going to be miserable this next year coming up. But, man, let me get on up out of here. We finna get ready to spin the block, man. I appreciate all the love of support. Make sure y'all hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card. And you know why them haters hate on us. Why? Because we are the greatest. That's why. Shout out to everybody rocking.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the love and support.
Put my money.
Make sure you hit that like and share
in my hand. Yeah.
Let's go.
And this is greatness defined. Every line is divine. Verses boggle your mind. And every song, man, I swear, just get better with time. No matter how much shade they throwing, I still manage to shine. I don't know why they so obsessed with mine. I'm all they think about. Go in their house, they probably got my pics in a shrine. Damn, I never let these play me. They see us ballin', now they wanna switch teams like KD. I know my time coming, I guess I'ma wait and see. I'm too cocky and confident that humble ain't for me, Lord. Help me with my egotistical ways, but I'm amazed how they display such miserable hate. I never paid attention to what most of to say. They words are unimportant like prepositional phrase. They wanna see me crash and burn in a ridiculous blaze, but yet I rise like the Phoenix. Show these people I'm great enough. Yeah, I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat. I do it for the family. So bring the block to the Grammys, and if you try to stop me, you need a plan B. Yeah, I just do it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how I feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals, and dollars till you make it. Show 'em all you the greatest. I'm the great young poet, got flow flowing, it's mind blowing. I'm flamboyant when brainstorming, that's fair warning. For my opponents that will be mourning before the morning. Every beat I eat and destroy it, that's what the fans wanted. The hot topic, you try to copy, that's hard stopping. Yeah, I'm a giant when rhyming and y'all microscopic. I got them watching and they believe in me like a prophet. Custom pics I'm cropping, be masterpieces, they photoshopping. I'm from the bottom, assembled by the avenue. So I gotta pay homage to the hood to show my gratitude. And then my attitude is similar to an animal. These niggas ain't half as cool, I got different levels to tap into. I am the truth, you should know that I kill it. These are God level lyrics, I should be on Mount Olympus. My music therapeutic to the real spirit, like it came from ancient Kemen. Ain't nobody with me, I'm the great. Yeah, I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat, I do it for the family. So bring the block to the Grammys, and if you try to stop me, you need a plan B. Yeah, I just do it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how I feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals, let the dollars see you make it, and show 'em all you the greatest. I'm the greatest.
And not only am I the greatest, we are the greatest. You know them haters hate us because they ain't us. You know them haters want to try to suppress our success. But nevertheless, we pass every single test with flying colors like no other. And like I say, 1K, one love, Cowboys Nation. Let's go.